Welcome to the Motormouth YouTube channel. I'm Zach.
I'm Andrea.
And this is our top 5 mid-size 3-row SUV.
In the non-luxury category. Now, we don't do a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 with a big finale. Instead, we put it in alphabetical order because everybody has different needs and wants.
Some might want more power, some might want more space, someone might not want more seats, so that's why we do it this way. And you decide which one fits your family.
First up is the all-new Chevrolet Traverse.
And this is the first time this vehicle has made our top 5 list. We drove it in the spring, and we were both very impressed with the design, the interior features, and the price.
Yeah, and I think, a lot of standard features for the money. If you're on a tighter budget, you can go with a lower trim, and you still feel like it's quite well equipped. Updated technology, new screens, standard wireless Apple Carplay, and Android Auto, which many people are looking for.
All right, the negative is some people are resistant to the fact that they've ditched the 3.6-liter V6 and moved to a turbo 2.5-liter 4-cylinder. But here's a news flash. You're going to see a trend in some of these vehicles moving towards turbo 4-cylinders. That's the way the industry's going.
While there are a ton of positives for the Traverse, there are some negatives. One being fuel economy. In the city, it doesn't do as well as some of the others on our list. You'll see that coming up. And also, there aren't many options for a bench seat. And so if you want to put 3 kids across the rear seat and you want all those bells and whistles, you're just not going to get it because many of them have captain's chairs.
All right, so they introduced a new trim. It's the Z71 or the Z71 trim. Has a bit of an off-road vibe to it, but it does actually have some off-road credentials. They've got extra skid plates at the bottom to help when you're going over rocks. It also has a different differential in the back, so it's actually meant to go off-road, and they've really tapped into the pickup truck looks at Chevrolet across their line. And what's the sporty one called?
Yeah, the RS model. Some don't love that you get the red interior accents, but there are other trims that you can choose from. I have to say, I love the rugged and bold design of the Traverse. It's spacious, it's comfortable, it's got great visibility in the cabin. So that is why it made our list, because I think it's going to appeal to a lot of families. There's only one powertrain option. There is no electrified option, no hybrid, no plug-in hybrid. The Traverse has a 2.5-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder with an 8-speed automatic transmission, 328 horsepower and 326 pound-feet of torque. In Canada, standard all-wheel drive, and in the US, front-wheel drive and all-wheel drive models are available.
Here are the reliability scores. J.D. Power gives the Traverse an overall score of 85 out of 100. Consumer Reports has not rated this SUV yet. It's currently being tested.
Here's the pricing in Canada. The Traverse starts at just under $52,500 and goes up to just under $68,500. In the US, it starts at just under $39,000 and goes up to just over $57,500.
Here's the all-wheel drive fuel economy. 13.8 liters per 100 kilometers city, 9.6 on the highway. That's just 17 miles per gallon city, 25 miles per gallon highway. The Traverse can tow up to 5,000 pounds.
Up next is the Honda Pilot. It still offers that V6 powertrain as many manufacturers move to a Turbo 4.
And one of the reasons we really like this product is the fact that in the second row, you have a removable middle seat. Now this is something you can either leave in the corner of your garage or you can just leave it as a bench seat. So you get the benefit of having a bench and captain's chairs, or you can actually store it in the trunk of the Pilot.
The Trail Sport is the only model that comes standard with captain's chairs. All others get a bench seat with this system in place. I really like the comfort level of the Pilot. It's comfortable. Steering is super light. So you've got this large vehicle that's easy to maneuver. Power is good. You've got that V6 powertrain. I did find on the highway that it did get a little bit louder when accelerating quickly.
And they also put the 10-speed automatic transmission in it. And they also have updated the in-dash technology. Now, it doesn't look as flashy as some others that are coming up on the list, but it does work.
What bothers me about Honda is that the pricing is high, yet that base model gets a 7-inch touchscreen with wired Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. I think that compared to the competitors, really Honda could offer a standard larger touchscreen with wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. It is available, but I think that base model should really get it.
Yeah, the interior is very simple. We're seeing that across Honda cars. They're keeping things very simple, and it's kind of like a timeless design. I kind of get what they're doing, but that in-dash technology stuff is a step behind on those base models.
And how about offering something other than a black interior? That might be nice.
So the Trail Sport is the one that people might gravitate towards because it has more rugged looks and it has a soft suspension. You might think for off-road you want a firm suspension. No, you actually want it to be soft to eat up those bumps. So that's something, if you like a soft ride, the Pilot Trail Sport might be for you.
There's just one powertrain for the Pilot, no electrified option. It is a 3.5-liter V6 with a 10-speed automatic transmission, 285 horsepower and 262 pound-feet of torque. In Canada, standard all-wheel drive. In the US, front-wheel drive and all-wheel drive options are available.
J.D. Power gives the Pilot an overall score of 84 out of 100 and Consumer Reports 77 out of 100.
Here's the pricing. In Canada, the Pilot starts at just under $55,500 and goes up to just over $67,000. In the US, just over $40,000 and goes all the way up to $54,500.
Here's the all-wheel drive fuel economy for the Pilot. 12.4 liters per 100 kilometers city, 9.3 on the highway. That's 19 miles per gallon city, 25 miles per gallon highway. And this can tow up to 5,000 pounds.
Up next is the Hyundai Palisade. It still has that V6 powertrain if you're interested in that instead of a Turbo 4. Here's something interesting. Hyundai just unveiled the new Palisade 2026 model in South Korea. No word on a powertrain. Will it stick with the V6 or move to a Turbo 4 like the others? And what about an electrified option?
Yeah, there's lots of rumors swirling around about this product. It might have a 2.5-liter hybrid system as its main powertrain or just a turbo available option. So we're gonna have to wait and see on that. So let's get into the existing model, and what it has under the hood is a 3.8, so a large displacement V6 engine, and it has elegant good looks. It's one of those, I think, that you either like the look or you're not crazy about it.
It's certainly held up over the years. It's not as big as some of the others on our list, like the Traverse, because it came out a while ago. So I think that the interior still feels quite upscale. It is comfortable. I like the fact that it has an available power folding third row, which some other competitors don't offer.
Yeah, so you can see that Hyundai really puts the Palisade as almost a premium vehicle on those top trims. And here's a picture of the new one that was just shown in Korea. And you can see they're trying to move it almost into the luxury category, competing even with their Genesis brand. So the Palisade on the lower trims doesn't look exactly like that. And the current model, here's images of the current model that's available. And to Andrea's point, I still think it looks elegant.
Yeah, I mean, it really has that stately design. And I remember when it came out, I was shocked that it was a Hyundai. So they've done a great job with the exterior design for sure. Now, there are some negatives. Because this is an older model, it has Hyundai's older infotainment system. So although you get a standard 12.3-inch touchscreen, which is nice, it's wired Apple CarPlay and Android Auto.
Wait a second, you got to plug your phone in, Andrea?
Yeah, or get a dongle.
That's so 2022, isn't it?
And I think, you know, when you look at the Hyundai Kona, which is a whole new design, it does have wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. So I think that there may be some who really want wireless that will wait for this 2026 model.
Yeah, so guaranteed the new one's going to have that.
So this model, just like some of the others on our list, you don't get a bench seat on all trims. So it does limit families if you want to put 3 kids across. Here's something interesting about the new model. Whether we get this in North America or not, in South Korea, it fits up to 9 passengers, and they have added
a bench seat in the front?
Yes.
Wow, I wouldn't want to be sitting there.
The Palisade is a 3.8-liter V6 engine with an 8-speed automatic transmission, 291 horsepower and 262 pound-feet of torque. Standard all-wheel drive in Canada. In the US, front-wheel drive and all-wheel drive options are available.
Here are the reliability scores. J.D. Power and Consumer Reports give the Palisade an overall score of 83 out of 100.
Here's the pricing for Canada. It starts at just under $53,500 and goes up to just over $62,000. $36,500. In the US, just over $36,500 and goes up to just over $54,000.
Here's the all-wheel drive fuel economy. 12.2 liters per 100 kilometers in the city, 9.7 on the highway. That's 19 miles per gallon city, 24 miles per gallon highway, and it can tow up to 5,000 pounds.
Up next is the Kia Telluride. It shares the same platform and powertrain with the Palisade.
So you're probably wondering, wait a second, they just updated or revealed the Palisade. When will Kia do it? They don't always put them out at the same time. They kind of stagger them. So because Hyundai has shown theirs, I'm guessing Kia will show theirs a little bit later. When they're introduced to the market, will be kind of staggered. I've always liked this product over the Palisade. I like the more rugged, traditional SUV looks. For me, Telluride has been a styling winner. And I'm kind of I like the Kia design more than the Hyundai design across most of their cars.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I love the rugged good looks of the Telluride. I think that Kia's done a fabulous job, and it shows. This is a popular product for Kia. There was a time where the Telluride was also very difficult to get. It's actually a very open cabin. It offers some good space. One thing I like about it is that it has the power folding exterior mirrors as an option. Some of these large vehicles in this class don't offer that. And I also like when you're parallel parking that the mirrors tilt.
So one thing Andrea mentioned about the power folding third row, you don't get that in the Kia product. You do on the Hyundai side, but they actually offer some other standard features on their product that Hyundai doesn't. You have to go up into packages. So it's kind of a bit of a spreadsheet thing. You got to look at which one fits your needs. That's why we don't go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. One might be for you. You like the elegant look of the Hyundai. Other people like the kind of rugged look of the Telluride. And then it comes down to the feature set and price. But they're both on the same platform and they both share the same engine. So that kind of stuff is the same.
Now, what we do find about the Telluride is that the seats are quite firm. Actually don't find them as comfortable as the Palisade and other competitors in this class. It's the same issue with the rear seat. You don't get a bench seat on all trims, so if you want those bells and whistles that you get on the top trim, captain's chairs. I also find that the fuel economy, just like the Palisade, is just okay, but viewers tell us who own a Palisade and a Telluride actually get better EPA numbers.
So what they did at the Hyundai Group, which is the parent company of both of these, is that they went to a large displacement 3.8 liter, but they also made it the Atkinson cycle with a high compression engine. That's all techie talk for it's designed to get better fuel economy. And Andrea is absolutely right. People who own these can get better than the EPA numbers.
Now, the Telluride has the same issue with infotainment as the Palisade. No wireless Apple Carplay and Android Auto. It is wired, but obviously when the new model comes with the new infotainment system, which we see when models are refreshed with Kia or redesigned, now wireless. There is no electrified option for the Telluride. It is a 3.8 liter V6 with an 8-speed automatic transmission, 291 horsepower and 262 pound-feet of torque. Standard all-wheel drive in Canada, front-wheel drive and all-wheel drive options are available in the US.
Here are the reliability scores. J.D. Power gives the Telluride a score of 85 out of 100 and Consumer Reports 83 out of 100.
Here's the pricing. The Telluride starts at just under $53,500 in Canada and goes up to just over $66,000. In the US, just over $36,000, and it goes all the way up to just under $53,500.
Here's the all-wheel drive fuel economy, 12.8 liters per 100 kilometers city, 9.8 on the highway. That's 18 miles per gallon city, 24 miles per gallon highway, and can tow up to 5,500 pounds.
Up next is the Toyota Grand Highlander with 3 powertrain options, a gas model, a hybrid, and then the high performance Hybrid Max.
So there you go. 3 different powertrain options. Toyota gives you lots of choices, lots of different pricing choices. They also give you different configurations on the inside. And you want a biggie, this is one of the biggest in the class. Just to get to the point, there was a lot of news around the fact they had a stop sale on this, which meant they couldn't make them and they couldn't sell them. The side curtain airbag, there was an issue. They've fixed it, they've rectified it, production is back up, but these are going to be hard to get.
So they actually had to redesign it. and retrofit the existing ones. So hopefully with production up and running, it won't be such a great wait time for this Grand Highlander.
So Andrea and I are in disagreement on this. I'm a big fan of the base turbo 4-cylinder because I like things inexpensively, and I think that it delivers really well on performance, and it's a nice driving unit. Andrea's at the other end of the spectrum. She likes the high performance hybrid system, but I like saving all that money on the initial purchase price because you're only going to save a little bit more on fuel.
Well, if I was on a tighter budget, I'd actually go for the 2.5 liter hybrid over the gas model. The fuel economy is absolutely terrific. But what I like about the Hybrid Max is it's a great blend of performance and fuel economy, and boy, that interior looks good. It has a real Lexus vibe to it, where I find the gas model and the 2.5 liter hybrid are more Toyota grade materials.
Yeah, they're a little more basic, but when I'm driving it, Andrea, I'm thinking about all the money I save buying it. There is no wrong answer here. That's why we don't go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You decide what fits your family. If you're all about the basic Grand Highlander, you can get that. If you're all about fuel economy, you can get the middle one that Andrea likes also. And if you like the performance, you can get the Hybrid Max.
I think it's comfortable. Visibility is great. It's easy to maneuver. It's got a good turning radius. Power is great, obviously, with the Hybrid Max powertrain. We found the gas model was pretty good. Hybrid for passing power, that 2.5 liter, it's a little bit slow, but just think of how much money you're saving at the pump.
Yeah, it actually is the same powertrain as the RAV4, but it's surprisingly good to drive. Like, I was shocked. You think that big SUV, how can they possibly do it? They figured it out at Toyota.
Hey, Toyota has this coming in with standard wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, which I think is great. This is a competitive model, and I can understand with all these different powertrains why families want one. The bench seat is not offered on all trims. We've talked to Toyota about that, and we're going to keep pushing for it. So you might get captain's chairs. You really have to see which model works best for you. I think what's disappointing for me is the Hybrid Max powertrain only has captain's chairs.
They told us, the chief engineer was at the event we went to, and he said because they have to hit certain weight for towing, and they also have to hit certain weight for the vehicle for fuel economy, they got rid of the second row because they also have to calculate it with a human in there.
Yeah.
So that's why they made that choice.
Now, we spoke to Chevrolet when we were at the Traverse event, and we asked them, hey, why can't you offer a bench seat on all trims? They said, you know what? If the demand is there from consumers, we will pivot and we will offer that. We see that with other models. The Atlas has a bench seat on all trims. The Explorer on almost all trims,
Except
it has
one.
a bench seat.
All right, so there's a lot of powertrains. Let's get into it.
The gas model has a 2.4 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder with an 8-speed automatic transmission, 265 horsepower and 310 pound-feet of torque.
The base hybrid system is a 2.5 liter 4-cylinder with an ECVT. It has 243 horsepower. Toyota does not post torque numbers for this motor. Comes standard with all-wheel drive in Canada, front-wheel drive and all-wheel drive options available in the United States.
The Hybrid Max powertrain is a 2.4 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder with a 6-speed automatic transmission, a combined 362 horsepower and 400 pound-feet of torque. Standard full-time electronic all-wheel drive.
Here are the reliability scores. J.D. Power hasn't rated the Grand Highlander yet, but Consumer Reports gives it an 87 out of 100.
Here's the pricing. In Canada, it starts at just over $53,500 and goes all the way up to $68,500. In the U.S., just over $43,000 and goes up to just under $58,500.
Here's the all-wheel drive fuel economy for the 2.4 liter base turbo engine. 11.2 liters per 100 kilometers city, 8.6 on the highway. That's 21 miles per gallon city, 27 miles per gallon highway.
The 2.5 liter hybrid gets 6.6 liters per 100 kilometers in the city, 7.4 on the highway. That's 36 miles per gallon city, 32 miles per gallon highway.
The Hybrid Max gets 9 liters per 100 kilometers in the city, 8.8 on the highway. That's 26 miles per gallon in the city, 27 miles per gallon on the highway. The gas and Hybrid Max models can tow 5,000 pounds. The 2.5 liter hybrid, 3,500 pounds.
You can use regular fuel for all of the models on our list.
All right, so what do you think of that list? We don't go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and I think you can see why. So right below, which one is right for your family? Which one would you choose if you had the money? Because these things are getting expensive. Any other thoughts before we go, Andrea?
Well, we didn't do any honorable mentions because this is a competitive category, and frankly, they're all quite good, and you can list off a whole slew of them. So we would love to hear what you think. If we've missed something on your list that you would prefer, that you would purchase, but this is our list.
And we're standing by it.
We are.
All right, so that's our top 5. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you like what we do, and we'll see you next time.